graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story. You know what time it is, Valhalla? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is the one, the only Lethal Lightning.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Loki. I'm very, very, very happy to be here. I was just saying backstage before we went live, like this is one of my favorite channels to just listen to while I'm doing my own thing, getting stuff sorted. This is like my favorite radio station, so I'm very happy to be here. How's everyone in the chat? And how are you doing, Loki?
I'm doing great. I got Lethal Lightning on this morning. I'm doing fucking great. You've got one of my favorite gaming channels. You're one of the only gaming channels that I still watch, man. It's hard. It's weird. You start doing this and it's like, you're like, fuck, man, I would love to watch this person, but I just don't have time. So you start trying to watch the people that are important and watch the people that you support, and you kind of cut everybody else out. So you're like the only gaming channel I watch anymore. I dropped Boogie. I dropped fucking Angry Joe. I dropped all them sorry sons of bitches. You're like the last gaming channel I still watch.
I'm gonna use that to advertise myself.
Fuck Angry Joe. Fuck Boogie. Watch Lethal.
Loki approved.
Oh shit, man. And of course Mass Effect's been in the news. Mass Effect's been in the news so much lately. Everybody's talking about Mass Effect, and I was like, man, I love these games. I mean, I played the original. Did you play the original when it came out, or were you one of those people that jumped on when 2 came out?
No, I played Mass Effect 1. It was an Xbox 360 exclusive. And I had a Xbox 360 at the time. I would have been about 12, 13 when Mass Effect 1 came out. And do you remember DVD shops? Remember them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
they used to be a thing. There used to be one near me. And me and a friend from primary/high school, we went up there one Friday afternoon, figured we're going to rent a game for the weekend and just play it all weekend because we did that pretty often. And it was like $8 Australian, and you could rent a game for 2 days. And we saw, what's this Mass Effect? And we picked that up, and we're like, oh my God, this might be one of the greatest games we ever played at that time. So, yep, I was there for Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I had just moved from Houston to North Dallas the year before it came out. And the first Christmas, I was poor as shit, dude. I barely had 2 pennies to rub together. It was I think my dad took pity on me and was like, what do you want for Christmas? I was like, Mass Effect. And the hubby got me Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and my dad got me Mass Effect. And a year later, it was funny because a year later, I still had Mass Effect, and I'd sold Call of Duty 4 to get something else. But I still have that original Mass Effect game that I got. But I played the shit out of it. We sat there for like a week over Christmas. I had like the week off, and we sat there for like a week doing nothing but playing Mass Effect.
Yeah, admittedly, I'd say Mass Effect 1 might be the one that I'm have the least memory of because it has been quite a while. And in all honesty, in a lot of ways, it has aged. But I'll tell you, it wasn't anything to do with butt cheeks or anything like that. But it's just like some of like the game mechanics were a bit, by today's standards, would be considered aged. But Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, yeah, they're probably like the big ones that I remember. But Mass Effect 3's, and everyone rips on Mass Effect 3, but honestly, I think it's decent apart from the ending. The ending's just so bad that it takes up most of the conversation with that game.
Dude, the combat was solid as hell in 3.
Yeah.
I loved the combat of 3. I absolutely love the combat in 3. I didn't mind the combat in Andromeda. Once they got the bugs worked out, the combat in Andromeda wasn't bad. It was the story and everything else that was fucking horrible.
I never played Andromeda. That was one I was a bit skeptical on, so I just kind of sat back and let the reviews come in.
Oh, they so got me so bad, dude. Because I was like, yeah, I'm like, I've got the countdown timer fucking going on my computer. Everything's pre-ordered. I don't pre-order shit, and everything's pre-ordered. And I'm like, oh no, all the faith and trust in the world. It was like those people pre-ordering Cyberpunk. Order Cyberpunk. We're all fucking brainwashed and shit by CD Projekt Red, except it was BioWare back then. So yeah, dude, I didn't see any of that coming. I was so it's Mass Effect, must order. And yeah, I was like, what the fuck? My face is tired.
and they used to see all the videos of like that, just the head still connected to the neck would just start spinning and shit like it's in The Exorcist. That's not right, man.
No.
Yeah, that was terrible. And I love the way they never considered that when Mass Effect 4. It was just like, okay, we're just going to put that in its own little corner. That's kind of like it never happened type thing. But, having said that, there's some people out there that enjoy it. It's got its fan base. Can't take that away from it, but I'm still very skeptical of it.
Hell, I would have still liked the DLC for it. I don't know why they didn't just finish the DLC. That was completely stupid. Sell us the rest of the fucking game, please.
Yeah, that just shows you the reception to it. They didn't even bother finishing the storyline of it.
We're not even going to tell you what happens to the not the Asari, but the oh shit, Tali's race. My God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, the other night, on my stream actually, I had Yellow Flash on, and we were talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, did you ever see the Krogan scene?" And I was like, no. And he showed it to me, and it's like this sassy Krogan talking within like the first hour of the game. I'm like, man, that is terrible.
We're a female Krogan, by God. We're the best. Yeah, we're the bestest ever.
It went from being like warrior race where like 1 in 1,000 live. Like the first one you meet, and I think it's in Mass Effect 1, just pulls a shotgun out as soon as you meet it. And then there's this one that's just like, so we're going to go down here tonight. And then up shit creek's a really blatant way to put it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that, man?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Now here we are with the Legendary Edition. Oh, boy.
I need this. I need this in my life because as a PC gamer.
Yep.
You got to mod the shit out of the first game just to get it into 1080p. You got to like go into the settings INI file and like manually change shit to get it to pop up in 1080p. And even then it doesn't work quite right. The UI isn't right. You gotta mod it to get a controller to work. There's all kinds of mods out there to get it to smooth out a smoother frame rate. The first game is a bitch to get to work right. The 2 and 3, not so much, but you still got to mod it to get a controller to work. So when I saw this, I was immediately like, I need this. I need this. And then you've got the people that are working on it talking like, well, we were told we needed to modify certain things in the game and we can't have this, but we told them we can't do a whole new what were they going to do? Give Miranda the ass of like a 12-year-old boy?
Shit, man, I guess the people at the top would have liked that, in all honesty. But I was kind of like you, because I had the games on Xbox 360. I no longer have my Xbox 360 or the games, and I haven't played them in years. So when they announced they were doing like a Legendary Edition bundle, I was like, yes, fuck yeah. And it was quite ironic because, even like you were excited for it, but like, man, we were excited for an EA product. That's strange to say in today's times, that you're excited for an EA product.
Yeah.
So it was like, even like the hype was real. And then the trailer dropped as well. And I was looking at the trailer going, yeah, that does look pretty good. And you've probably seen them too. Like they're doing like before and after comparisons. And in all honesty, you look at some of them, you go, yeah, that does look better. But others you're looking at and going, that actually doesn't look better. And then you look at other ones, you're like, wow, did JJ Abrams make this? Because that's just a lens flare. That's all that is. But in regards to the Miranda stuff, they had said in the interview that they couldn't change models because it's a remaster and that's just too much to do it in this. So they've got to like cut out certain camera angles, and it's weird. Like they're talking about, well, why is the camera focusing on her butt? Like, okay, what a weird statement to make. And then they go on to talk about male shepherd man spreading. I'm like, that's the part where you go, yeah, these people are insane. It's not the same BioWare we all knew from back in the day. It's different.
No, you're absolutely right. The BioWare we knew when all the stuff came out about the first game, and they were like, well, you can be a girl and have relations with a girl crew member. People went fucking ape shit, and BioWare was like, yeah, we did that. Fuck off. And it was like they didn't care. They didn't give a shit. It was like, no, we put it in the game, deal with it. So what? You can be a femme shepherd and have a relationship with Liara, which was my favorite character anyway. It didn't matter whether I played as a guy. It didn't matter whether I played as femme shepherd. Liara was my chick. People had their chicks, people had their guys, people had the ones they focused on. But Liara, I was like loyal into before the DLC came out where you could actually sleep with Liara again. I was loyal in the second game. I was like, Liara's my chick from the first one. Hopefully I'll get her back in the third one. And then you got the DLC where you could like have a relationship with her again. But that was important. These were important things. And I remember someone asked me, dude, it's just a game. What does it matter? I was like, because it's the way it is. This is my story and I'm playing it my way. And it's important to me that my character has that relationship with the person that I want them to have. I don't just want to bang everything in sight in this game. I want to have this relationship with this character.
Exactly. And, in a lot of ways, it can be very story-centric as well, because back then, excluding, again, Mass Effect 3's ending, excluding that, a lot of little choices you made in these games carried over. So it was important. So, you could be very loyal to Liara. Maybe you could cheat on her and then she'll find out and then she won't be so trustworthy to you. Like, it was awesome. But yeah, you were totally right, man. Like, they came out like, yeah, you can be a girl and sleep with a girl, no big deal, whatever. And what's funny is I honest to God think Femme Shep is better, because that's just my personal opinion, because I really preferred her voice acting. Male Shepherd was cool, but I just think Femme Shep was just that little bit better. But do you remember back when the first game came out, the whole Fox News situation?
Yeah, because the Jack thing. I had never heard that before.
Yeah, on Fox News back in the first game, the game was getting blasted because they called it a sex simulator, and there was a guy that they were talking to, just like throwing all these stupid like comments at him, and he's just sitting there scratching his head, being like, "Sex simulator? It's a space opera, like it's an RPG. Like, yeah, you can have sex in it, but you don't really see it. You know what I mean?" And then, then he turns around and goes, "Did any of you actually play this game?" And
That
then no
didn't.
one, yeah. And then I was like, yep, case closed. Like, you people don't know what you're talking about. So it's
That
funny, like in 10 years or so, well, a bit more, we went from that to them caving to the people that were calling him out.
they should have taken that and actually taken note, because that's the way that the game review industry
Mhm.
is now. They don't even play the fucking game. They'll like pay someone and watch. And if they actually do play the game, all they do is bitch about the difficulty today.
Yep. Yeah. Kotaku. That was the Final Fantasy VII remake where the guy from Kotaku, of all places, my God, talks about how the game was a bit too difficult for him. Fair enough. Okay, cool. That's why we have difficulty settings. And he dropped it down to easy, blitzed through the game on easy, and then wrote up his review saying, "Oh, it's too easy on easy mode." My God, like, oh, that hurts to read, doesn't it? The game is too easy on easy mode. That's gaming journalism for you. That's why a lot of people, myself included, just rip on these people because it's pretty easy to do, in all honesty.
They have no concept. I don't know why they're in this business if they're not going to actually play video games. I would have
Yep.
killed to be a reviewer back in the day. I always got these review magazines back in the day. Yeah, I was one of those gamers. It was Electronic Gaming Monthly, and there was this guy in there called Mr. X. And if Mr. X said something about a game, you damn well believe that that's the way it was, because he played the damn game. So if he said, man, I played through this and this part sucked and this part sucked, you went out and you got the game and you played it, guess what? On these parts of the game, it usually sucked 99% of the time, because he was giving you his honest opinion about a game. Isn't it amazing that when you give your honest opinion about a game after you've played it, people can be like, yeah, I totally see that, getting to that point in the game and it just sucking horribly.
Yeah. Honesty, I think, is one of the most important things that unfortunately just doesn't exist in the industry anymore. I mean, there's probably plenty of games that I like that you don't, and vice versa. But when it comes to a review, you should have put the time into it to say, look, this is how I feel, and this is why I feel that. You might enjoy it because a lot of people do enjoy X, Y, and Z, but not my thing. But as long as you're honest, then at least you have something to stand on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got your honest opinion, which is what I try and give everybody on this show. My honest opinion. When I watch Batwoman, believe me, I'm giving you my honest opinion. When I watch a good movie, I'm giving you my honest opinion. I don't see how that is so hard to do in a video game, playing a video game.
Exactly. Especially when there's just like things that's I just read Fat Steven's comment. Oh, shout out to Fat Steven Seagal. I saw his She-Hulk video. That had me in tears laughing, man. But yeah, when it comes to a video game, there's like certain things that are just undeniable. Like you might I don't know, the jump button doesn't work, and then you're just pressing it. It doesn't work. Cyberpunk keeps crashing every hour. And then like you see, I think this is a good example of the industry was Cyberpunk. Like everyone was complaining about in the industry was complaining about the game for it being transphobic or whatever stupid shit it was. It's like, how come none of you are mentioning that the game crashes every hour?
Yeah.
That's an honest to God complaint. Flaw with the game. Like, I'll be real, I was like you, I was totally on board the Cyberpunk hype. I've played it for 5 hours. I got my refund out of it because it's a big nope. It's a big nope for me. But is the game transphobic? No, absolutely not. Does it have a lot of stuff that a lot of people are going to think are really good? Yeah, ask the PC players. But for me, it was just unplayable and buggy. But no one mentioned that in their early reviews. Now, there was a bit of a situation around that, but that's just a rough example.
Now, and when you get a game like Cyberpunk and the first patch is 9.6 gigabytes.
Yeah, before it even comes out.
That's almost as big as a game itself. I mean, what did they forget to put in there?
Everything.
Shit, the AI just stands there in the T-pose all day long. That's all it does. T-pose. Everywhere there's T-pose. When did you first hear that Mass Effect was going to do a Legendary Edition?
It would have been, oh gosh, when was it announced? Quite a few months ago. Myself, Ryan, Jeremy, and Mark the Cyborg, we do a weekly live stream on Geeks and Gamers, like a video game centric live stream. And I reckon the news dropped just a few hours before we went live. So it's like we're getting all our topics ready to discuss. We're like, oh, cool. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. This sounds fantastic. And then on top of that, they gave us the 50-second teaser of Mass Effect 4. And it's like, dude, Mass Effect's coming back strong, man. This is going to be great. So I've got a feeling it was about, I want to say 4-ish months ago. It might have been a little bit longer, actually.
Yeah, I knew that something like this was going to happen. How could they not do this? I mean, you know, they got beat down when Andromeda came out, but how could they not do a remaster, an HD remaster, and fix, especially on PC? Guys, the PC versions of these games are a mess. That, like I was saying, the first one barely works. You have to manually edit files to get it to show up in 1080p. It's a effing mess to get some of these games to play on PC. On console, it's not bad. You just pop them in there. You can pop all the original games in an Xbox One and play them. You don't have to play them on a 360. But for example, one of the things that absolutely sucks on PC, to get the DLC for the second game, you literally have to go to the BioWare website, log into your BioWare account, and manually download the DLC one at a time and manually install it into your game directory.
Yeah, that sounds like a bit of effort, doesn't it?
It's a pain in the ass to get the DLC for the second game and all of it and install it. So if you have everything and that comes out to like 12 or 10 or 12 DLCs, you have to manually download it and manually install each one into the game directory after you've installed the game.
Wow. See, that's kind of where console had an advantage. You just go, oh, new DLC, click,
Yep.
spend money, confirm, click, download in progress.
But yeah, I love playing them on PC because you can mod them. You can throw all kinds of cool mods in there. There's all kinds of cool things you can do. But it also looks better. It looks better than the console.
Absolutely. Like I'm on PS4 at the moment. I went Xbox 360, PS4. Good luck getting a PS5 at the moment, unless you're willing to spend like 3 times what it's actually worth. But yeah, they do definitely look better in PC. That's just a normal thing. But like you could say it's a cash grab doing bundles, legendary editions, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, it kind of is. But this is one people wanted. Like, we were willing to drop the money just to get these free games again and go back through them, you know, touched up and all that type of stuff. But in all honesty, it's starting to look like a bit of a lazy remaster. I mean, they didn't really pump it up to like Unreal 4 or anything like that. And then on top of that, throw in the controversy and the fact that they're not bringing in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, which is definitely going to turn some people sour. I just feel like there was so much hype around this, and within 24 hours, they've just crushed so much of it. But having said that, I am a very strong believer in you spend your money how you see fit. If you want to go buy this game, you go buy this game. You know, don't let anyone try to guilt you, shame you into not buying it or whatever. Going, oh, how can you support that? You're like, dude, it's your money. You earned that money. You get to spend it as you see fit. Myself, I really don't know if I'm going to bother getting this. I might not, but I feel like people should be aware of the drama surrounding this and why people are looking at this the way we are. Like, more information, the better, I reckon.
Yeah. Why change it? Why change it?
Why?
And the model. We were talking about that before we went live. The model. The fact that they talked about, well, can we change the model?
See, that's a worry. That shows you where their head's at. And look, here's the thing. Miranda and Jacob are both supposed to be like genetically perfection. Like that's a big part, especially Miranda. That's a big part of her character, is that she is genetically modified to be, quote, perfection. And when you talk with her, if you keep talking about how beautiful it is and her figure and all that, she starts to be like, really, that's all people ever see about me because that's how I am. So she kind of brushes you off and gets a little bit pissy with you if that's all you talk about, you know. She wants you to talk about her feelings and personality and all that girl jibber jabber, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she don't want you to just focus on her body. But like you said, she is perfect. She's supposed to be the perfect biotic, perfect intelligence, perfect body. Everything about her is supposed to be perfection. So the way they focused their camera angles in the second game, it was like, look at that perfect ass, look at those perfect legs,
Yes.
look at her perfect body, listen to her perfect explanation.
And
It's
let's be honest,
annoyingly
it
almost
was a
how
bit.
perfect.
It was fan service in certain parts. There's no denying that. But what's wrong with that? It's a video game. It's escapism. I'm supposed to like. Is there parts where you look at it and go, "Ha ha ha"? There's the ass cheeks right there. Like, yeah, it's a video game. You have a bit of a giggle, but then you go, okay, what about Jacob? Jacob's there for female eye candy or gay dude eye candy. Then you have Jack. I mean, look at what Jack wears. She doesn't really wear a whole lot in those games, does she?
A buckle. It's like
A buckle.
a buckle, yeah, a buckle that goes over her nips and her private parts, and that's it. It's like a buckle and a strap.
And I've seen no talk of her.
Nope.
But Miranda's ass cheeks are bad. It's just weird. But the whole shepherd man spreading thing, that's where I'm like, okay, now you're just being utterly ridiculous. Man spreading. As soon as that comes in, you're like, yeah, you've just crushed your own arguments right there, haven't you?
It's absolutely asinine that, like you said, they did talk about Jack. They talked about the fact that why she wasn't Pan, and how it all came down to Fox News slamming the second game, and that the devs were afraid. Let me tell you something. Mass Effect devs weren't afraid of shit. If they didn't do something, it's because they had a reason. It wasn't because they were afraid of shit.
Oh, it's the higher up.
Yeah, it was a higher up that said, we ain't doing that. So
Yeah.
they can say they were afraid of something. No, Mass Effect devs weren't afraid of shit. When they got, like you said, when they got called a sex simulator, they didn't care. They were like, did you actually play the game? It's a space hopper.
Yeah, I mean, game developers, they're always used as the shield from criticism. And it's so unfair to the game developers because when anger, criticism is directed towards the game, yes, sometimes it's because there's some development issues, but a lot of it's to do with the higher ups. You look at Cyberpunk, you know, that game should have not been released in its state. It shouldn't have. Did the developers make the decision to release it? No, the developers were telling them, saying the game's not ready. You know, and then they always try to put out the whole, game developers are getting death threats. Does that happen? Of course it happens. There's always a weirdo minority out there. But if you get 100 people that are criticizing the game, I'd say about 1 or 2 of them are actually sending death threats. And the people that do that get ostracized by the rest of us. They go, you shouldn't do that, man. That is just weird, wrong, and you're making the rest of us look bad. And they always put them front and forward as a shield to deflect criticism. If I was a game developer, I'd be going, hey, I'm not your shield. But, you know, you can't lose your job. I totally understand that. You can't hate on them for it. There are times where the development made some really bizarre decisions. And then going back to the Mass Effect, it's like, well, I'm willing to bet that there are quite a number of developers in BioWare that don't want to make these changes. How many people do you think would have been playing the Mass Effect games and would have been like, man, I would love to work on this. And then they find themselves in a position where they can do it. And this is what they got to do.
No, I agree. And Project Storytime, do you think there's any coincidence Casey Hudson left BioWare right before the announcement of Legendary Cut?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes and no. I think he kind of knew what was coming and didn't really want to be involved with that. But at the same time, I think he had enough with BioWare for quite a bit before this as well. I mean, we went from Mass Effect and KOTOR to Anthem.
Oh, oh, no, bring up Anthem. Don't bring the Bob Dylan of gaming, ladies and gentlemen. The Bob Dylan of gaming, Anthem. I knew when I saw that, I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong at BioWare. You don't just Bob Dylan. What the? Why are y'all saying that? This should be like the sexy ass fucking Ferrari of gaming, not Bob Dylan. No, and Anthem. Did you play Anthem?
I didn't. I did. Oh, you did?
Well, I had the free. I had it free because I had that EA pass. So I was like, I'll play anything, I'll play anything on there. I got that pass, and yeah, I canceled the pass. I was like, this isn't worth it. You've got the pass, and it's like, oh, you can play anything in our catalog, and I'm like, oh, great, that's wonderful. And then I played Anthem, and I was like, no, it's not great. No, I wish I'd never done this.
Yeah, it's strange, man. I'll go you one worse. I play Marvel's Avengers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, not many of us are playing that game. It's not good. I'll be real. It's not a good game, but I find some subjective enjoyment in it. I haven't played it in a few weeks because there's nothing to do in it at the moment. Desperately waiting for that update. It's becoming one of those games that I'll pop in whenever there's something new, but I've kind of like just done everything there is to it, man. But yeah, just quickly circling back to the Mass Effect stuff. One argument that I don't get, and I've seen this argument pop up 3 or 4 times in my recent comments on my videos, because I do read them all. Sometimes I can't reply to them all, especially when they fucking get like 100 comments overnight, which for me is a lot. But I see people saying like, why are straight people so pissed off about this, blah, blah, blah. It's just a camera angle. It's like, dude, sexuality's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. No. And if we're going to use that, I go, well, what about the lesbians? I'm pretty sure the lesbians want to look at her butt. But it's just like, if they're censoring this, what else are they going to censor? And do you think this is where the line stops? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Does lowering the camera angle break the game? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. How does that affect the gameplay itself? It doesn't. The issue just becomes, it's like, well, what else are you going to do? And the reasons behind why they're doing it, that just doesn't make sense. And I got a question for you, Loki. Them making these changes, do you think it's a little bit of a fuck you to the people that originally made the game?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I agree.
Same thing with movies, same thing with comic books, same thing with comic book characters. Yeah, that's one of the things that we do a really big deep dive into around here is why make these choices? Why do these things? And yeah, I think the original dev team, this is a big fuck you to the original dev team. And they don't care. It's not just, well, we think this is inappropriate. And that alone, they shouldn't be working on this fucking game. If you think anything in this game is inappropriate, get the fuck off my dev team.
Exactly. Like I saw one piece last night from the Metro, so you just know it's garbage. And they were going on about how this game needs more censorship. And she was writing up this whole thing about how sexualized characters in a video game that she enjoyed was traumatic. It's like, oh God.
Traumatic.
Yeah, traumatic. So it's like, wait, you think this game's extremely sexist and traumatic, but you like it as well? You're gonna have to explain that one to me. You've lost me there.
I'm not shocked, but wow.
Yeah, it's getting like that.
Traumatic. It's a traumatic experience. I was traumatized, y'all. I played Mass Effect, and oh my God, it traumatized me because when you see Liara's butt, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they showed her butt. That poor girl must have been just broken that they made her show her butt in this game. I mean, can you believe that? I just felt so bad for her.
But I still bought the game and liked it.
Liara is a fictional character in a video game.
Yeah, I know. That's gaming journalism for you. So if you've ever wondered why there's so many YouTube channels and bloggers out there going through these things, well, like we don't really go through them. They just because they're mainstream, they pop up. So it's front and center. And like we were saying before, like your guy, Mr. X, you'd read his review and you're like, okay, this guy's normally on point. I'll go check it out. Or he's convinced me to not buy the game. Now we're at the point where it's like, tell me about the game. Oh, there's butt cheeks, so it's traumatic. Okay, but tell me about the game. Yeah, but there's butt cheeks, so it's traumatic. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. But I do believe the pendulum does swing both ways. So it's going to come back to normal at one stage. Yeah, she's fictional. She's fictional. Like, what the Oh, God. Like, you know... Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to quickly say, I feel like some of the best ways to counter this stuff is there's a lot of ways to counter this stuff, but one way that I like to do and I think is effective is satire. Like, just make fun of it because it's stupid. Comedy, you know, get people laughing about it so people can see how ridiculous it is.
Do you think that in 2 years' time that we're going to get a patch for the Legendary Edition where some random dev's like, okay, we went back in and we fixed the camera angle, everybody. Sorry, we fucked up. We know, but we fixed Miranda's camera angle. Here you go. Patch thrown out there. We fixed the camera angle.
That's so hard to say. It's a good question. Do I think it's possible? Yeah. I think a lot of it, and this is so stupid because they're unrelated, but I think a lot of it's going to be due to whatever the climate, the state of the world is at that time, where in my opinion, it shouldn't make a difference. Video games and real life situations are totally different. But if there's enough noise about it, I guess it's unlikely, but if there's enough noise about it, I guess it's possible.
The ass edition.
I actually had the idea of getting this image, the ass edition. Yeah, I had this idea going back to the satire thing was getting this image that I have now of Miranda's ass and putting it on a T-shirt and having like "Save Miranda ass" because I don't think you can call her Miranda due to copyright. So you just put "Save Miranda ass." I need to look into it a little bit more and speak with some people that are way more intelligent than me, especially when it comes to copyright.
Fighting for the original ass.
Yeah, we want that battle.
The battle for Miranda's ass. Favorite character. You can do all 3 games. You can do just one. It doesn't matter. Favorite character in the trilogy. You can do it, like I said, each game or just one. Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna call it a 2-way tie between Garrus and Ashley.
Oh, wow. You're an Ashley fan.
Ashley, I think Ashley got a lot of unnecessary... Ashley slept on. Ashley deserves a bit more love. Miranda's awesome, don't get me wrong, but I feel Ashley deserves more love.
No, I really liked Ashley. I hated what they did to her in the second game and how she treats Shepard in the second game. Because, of course, I played through and did like every single romance option you can get, and that's what pissed me off the most was she shows up in 2 and she's like, I don't like you.
Yeah, I know. Miranda's awesome, but I think everyone will agree Garrus is a fan favorite. He's for a lot of people. His introduction in number 2 is so awesome.
But what was it? The angel? Was it the angel of the slum angel or some shit?
Something like that, where he's all got a scar all over him because I got shot in the face with a rocket launcher.
Yeah. You're like, man, who is this guy that's just like cleaning house? And
he's like the Punisher, basically. Yeah. The way they talk about him is he's the Punisher.
They took out his team, and he was the only survivor, and he's like the Archangel. Thank you, Jester of Sin, the Archangel. Yes. His whole team gets taken out. He's the only one left, and he's been punishing the crime lords. And you're like, holy shit, it's Garrus.
So good. What about you? Who's your favorite?
Oh man, it would probably be a tie between. I loved Grunt. I loved Grunt.
Oh,
Man. I thought Grunt was just the shit. And Liara, Liara. Of course, she was my favorite romance. But I thought that her character in all of this had the more growth, personal growth. Can you believe that they had such a kick-ass female back before 2016 that she had this where she's just this like nerdy scientist in one.
Yep.
She's this badass information broker in two, and then in three everyone turns to her.
Yep.
She's talking to everyone. Everyone's like, well, Liara, what do you think about this? And Liara, I'm in this situation. Liara, can you help me out with this? And even Earth is like, hey, Liara, we need these supplies. Everyone is turning to Liara. So go ahead.
I was going to say, like, just thinking through it now and listening to you talk about Liara, pretty much not only was every character well written, a lot of the females were actually the standouts as well from a character point of view.
Yep.
I was just thinking of Tali.
Yep.
Tali would probably be a number 3 for me, man. She is awesome.
Yeah.
But like you said, women didn't exist until 2016.
Tali, Miranda, I think Miranda got shafted in 3. I wish he had gotten more with Miranda. She'd been like a permanent member of the crew. Jack is Jack. There was absolutely no development whatsoever with Jack. Jack was just Jack.
Yeah, but that's who Jack is.
Yeah, that's who Jack is.
What you see is what you get.
Ashley went from the kind of thrown out and forgotten about on this deep space world, this world out in the wild, to someone high up in the military. Yeah. An important figure in the military. Every character, even whether it be male or female, it didn't matter. Every character had growth.
Everyone, yep.
But I will say this, the woman, give me just a second and let me pull up, because this was a big thing for me. I know that it has absolutely, it's the voice actress. Let's see. Okay. I can never say her name right. Shori Agdashlu. She plays Avasarala in The Expanse.
I haven't seen The Expanse. I've been told that it's pretty good.
She is the Tali's godmother.
Okay.
Or her aunt. I can't remember. But the first time I heard that voice, it's like, hello, Commander Shepard. Yeah, it's that gruff. I've smoked, 5 packs of cigarettes every day since I was 13. It's that, that voice. The first time I heard it was in Mass Effect. And when I heard her for the first time in The Expanse, I was like, holy shit, that's Tali's aunt or godmother, whoever the fuck it was in Mass Effect. So my mind immediately goes to Mass Effect 2, to the trial, and then into 3.
Yeah, the trial was so good in Mass Effect 2.
And getting those characters, the relationship with Tali, I thought was kick ass. I was like, okay, so you can't have any kind of relationship with her in 1 besides a friendly relationship. And then in 2, she's like, I have found a way to take the suit off so we can, and that was important. You're like, oh, that's so sweet. They figured it out. This is so cute. This is so sweet. This is a really cool thing to do. Because you get to have a relationship with Tali and you didn't get to have one with her in the first game. It's you start giving a shit about all these characters. You care about them. You don't want them to die. You definitely don't want to lose anybody. You don't want to lose anybody in the second game. When you get that perfect playthrough of 2 and everybody makes it, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like a god.
Yeah, I'm a fucking badass. Did you get through 2 and not lose anybody? I fucking did. It's on my account too. There's a badge I got for it.
Do you know who was so good in these games? The Elusive Man.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Martin Sheen. Hey, that like he was just awesome in that, man. Like every scene he was in, you're like, this dude's freaky, man. And then like as much as we rip on Mass Effect 3's ending, there's a good part towards the end where Shepard goes, shit, man, he was kind of right the whole time. Like Mass Effect 3 did have a lot of stuff in it that I really liked. It just the ending was a letdown. But I really love the start of Mass Effect 3, where like Shepard, we need you to come into the council. The Reapers are attacking, and Shepard's like, oh, I've only been telling you about this for 2 games, you bastards.
Well, longer than that. A
Yeah.
year. He's been going off on it for like what, a year? I'm trying to fucking tell y'all that this shit was coming. Nobody wanted to listen to me.
Yeah, and then it was so good, man. Like, I remember the opening scene because you're playing in London,
Yep.
and like there's the promotional art, or maybe it was on the back of the game where it was a sniper in Big Ben in the Big Ben tower.
Yes.
Like, that is
Yes.
just so badass, man. But the opening scene where you see the Reapers come down to start tearing apart London, and then like the camera zooms out and you see them just destroying Earth, and you're like, whoa, we're in for some shit in this game.
Did you guys say both the Geth and the Quarians? Yes.
Oh gosh, it's been so long. I think on my first playthrough I went Quarrants, but Legion was his name Legion?
Legion.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool character. I remember on my first playthrough of Mass Effect 2, he died in a suicide mission. I was like, I want to start the whole game again. He got torn apart because my ship didn't have a strong enough hull.
Did you though? Did you play it more than once?
I played all of them more than once.
Awesome.
Yep. Like I said, like I did one. I played both as male Shepherd and Fem Shep, and then I was like, I think Fem Shep's the way to go. Actually,
did you ever tank the game? Someone wanted me to do that once. They had watched me play. I forget who it was. It was a friend or something. They watched me play through the whole game in like badass mode where I save everything. It's like, good Shepherd, but with some bad moments. Like I think I threw some people out some windows, and you can't help but every once in a while be like, no, I'm going to do the badass thing, even if it's, even if it's not the heroic thing to do. I'm going to throw this fucker out a window just because it's cool. But most of it was like heroic Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting those good points. Did you ever intentionally tank the game? Like, pick all the wrong decisions and make all the wrong moves on purpose?
When I play a game like this, I kind of like to be, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's more of a reflection of me and my issues. I don't think I ever did a playthrough where it was just pure Renegade, but I definitely lean Renegade in a lot of ways. Like my favorite moment that you were describing before was I liked it when you could punch the reporter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crack. Not in the mood.
And beat the shit out of, what was that guy's name? That guy that like, I want to be you, Commander Shepard.
Yeah, you can just attack him.
Yeah, you just beat the shit out of him, and he'll still show up in the other games and be like, "I've got your armor. Look, I paid for a quality reproduction of your armor." And you're like, "Oh, you dumbass!"
Like that guy in is it in The Witcher? In Witcher 3, where he follows you around. He goes, "I want to be a Witcher. I want to fight you."
Yes.
You just kick the crap out of him like 10 times. And then eventually you can kill him.
Conrad. Thank you, Angelus Draven. Conrad. Yes, Conrad Burner. Holy shit. The guy that wants to be Commander Shepard. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite show on the Citadel.
The ultimate fanboy.
The ultimate fanboy. So I'm gonna assume you're not gonna get this.
I don't know at the moment. I'm leaning no, but I feel like I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'm definitely not going to be pre-ordering, rushing to get it.
No.
It's so hard to say. Like, out of principle, I don't think I should get it. But at the same time, it's like, man, these games are so good. I just want to play them again. Like, I'd love the ability to play them again. But if I don't know. Maybe I'm better off finding like PlayStation free copies and just going back through them because I'm pretty sure you can play the PlayStation free copies on your PlayStation 4. Maybe someone in the chat can help me with that. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know at this stage. What about you? Do you reckon you're going to be getting it?
I will be getting it on PC.
Yep.
I have faith in the modders. I have
Oh,
faith
God
that
bless
there's
the modding community.
yes. I have faith in the modding community to fix what has been broken. You have broken what could not be broken. You have broken Mass Effect, and we'll get it has been reforged. Mass Effect, the Ass Edition, reforged. From the shards of Narsil. We will reforge it from the broken Legendary Edition back into Miranda's Ass Edition. But just because it is so difficult to play the first 3 games, I'm sorry. I think the last time I re-engineered all 3 games to the point where I could play through all 3 was like 2014, 2015. And that was a giant pain in the ass.
Yep.
And if I want to play these games, I want to load them up and play them. I want it all to be there. And this is going to be the easiest way to do that. I will just have to rely on the modding community. Now, would I go buy this for PS4 or Xbox One? No, hell no. Would I buy it for any of the new consoles? No, I won't.
Yeah, but you're totally right. Like the convenience can't be denied with it as well, and that's a big selling point of it as well. I need to check if the games are on PSN on PlayStation 4 because if they are, I'm just going to get that.
They are.
Sorry,
they're
not.
No.
Oh, well, fuck.
No, I've got PSN because we've been playing God of War, the original God of War lately on Wednesdays. But no, it's not. No, because that was one of the things I looked for was, can I just play it on PSN without having to dick around with anything? No.
Damn, that sucks.
So
that really sucks, unfortunately. God damn. See, this is kind of like how they're trying to trap people like me. Oh, you want to play the game, do you? Well, there's only one way to get it.
Well, they came out, and again, I don't know why they do this. They came out with a collection. They came out with a Mass Effect collection on PC.
Mm-hmm.
All it is are the base games on the EA Origin network. There's nothing on the disc to install besides Origin. So you get a fucking box with 3 discs in it. 3 discs, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3. On those discs, all that is on the discs is the Origin installation.
Wow.
There's no game. All it does is install Origin and tells Origin you own these games. It like auto completes the CD key for you. That's it.
Wow. That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. That is absolute bullshit. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and talking about this. I love Mass Effect and I want this edition for PC, but I think it needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
The Ass Edition. We need the Ass Edition. Miranda's Ass Edition.
Yeah. Lowercase M, capital A, capital S, capital A. Nah.
Miranda's Ass Effect. Yes. Absolutely. So thank you. I want to thank you for hopping on here today. Thank you for hanging out with us. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Everyone in the chat has just been like very, what's the word I'm looking for? They've been amazing. I'll just go with amazing. I was trying to sound smart, but I failed at that.
Well, you have a lot of fans in Valhalla. I know when I brought this up, I was like, yeah, Lethal's going to be on. We're going to talk Mass Effect. There were people that were going nuts in Valhalla. They were like, oh my God, it's Lethal Lightning. I'm like, yes, it is. We're going to talk about Mass Effect.
It's just the accent. Thank you for having me. This has been amazing.
Thank you, brother, for being here. Everybody, unfortunately, I do not have an outro for you. It is almost done. I am working on it, but I need your help, guys. Anyone at the mid-level, anyone at the top level, if you are at any of our mid-levels or top levels, whether it is here on YouTube, whether it is on the Patreon, get with me about what you want for your video. The outro's almost done. I just don't want to finish it until everyone's gotten back with me about what character they want to be on the outro. So I'm going to leave you guys with some Kratos. Again, thank you very much, Lethal, for being here, man. It has been a pleasure.
Have a great day, everybody.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.